Alan Watt taught that the desire for security and the feeling of insecurity are inseparable. That is, to hold your breath is to lose your breath. Traditional Zen Buddhism echoes this sentiment as well. Desiring fulfillment is to acknowledge its absence, and happiness is not something to be sought, but something to be embraced and become. While these philosophies may seem abstract, they reveal the futility of this pursuit of happiness. Andrew Weil has pointed out that the belief that humans should be constantly happy is a uniquely modern, uniquely American, and uniquely destructive idea. Our relentless quest for perpetual happiness fuels consumerism, hides the existential reality of our mortality, and leaves us yearning for more. This unending pursuit, coupled with our fear of death and suffering, has driven much of our societal development and innovation. Yet, a lack of fulfillment persists because the pursuit of happiness is an unending journey. Chasing happiness is trying to keep ourselves sustained by positive life events. Motivating ourselves with the hope of achieving a constant state of happiness is not only unhealthy, it's impossible. If you want to be happy, you need to stop chasing happiness. Happiness is a product of doing things that are challenging, meaningful, beautiful, and worthwhile. Eric Breeden identifies three primary forms of happiness: the happiness of pleasure, the happiness of grace, and the happiness of excellence. He likens these forms of primary colors, the foundation upon which the entire spectrum of happiness is built. The happiness of pleasure is largely sensory. It's enjoying a good meal when you're hungry, the scent of fresh rain, or the comfort of a warm bed. The happiness of grace is rooted in gratitude. It is the feeling of contentment when you see your loved ones beside you and silently express your thanks. It involves taking stock of your blessing and expressing humility and awe towards something greater than yourself. The happiness of excellence, on the other hand, arises from striving towards greatness. It's not about the moment of victory, but the love of the journey itself. It's filled with meaningful work, the state of flow, and a sense of purpose that defines our identity and channels our energy beyond fleeting desires. Just as removing a primary color limits the spectrum of colors, lacking any of these forms of happiness makes thriving nearly impossible. Each type of happiness is irreplaceable and essential. However, many people mistakenly try to substitute one for another. For instance, excessive indulgence in pleasure often occurs when the happiness of excellence is neglected. Yet, no amount of pleasure can compensate for the fulfillment derived from striving towards excellence. As Greta notes, lots and lots of red will never make blue. Pleasure will never make you whole. The happiness of excellence requires emotion resilience. It is measured, deliberate, and consistent pursuit, often avoided due to its inherent discomfort and delayed rewards. Many of us are blind to the full spectrum of life's joy because we lack one of these foundational elements. We aspire to be authors but avoid the discipline required to write for long hours. We dream of being great but shy away from the dedication and consistency. In conclusion, the pursuit of happiness as an end goal is misguided. True happiness arises from living a life filled with purpose, challenge, and growth. Avoiding this pain of growth is to avoid happiness. Stop chasing happiness and instead focus on becoming the kind of person who finds joy in the journey itself.